Liberal Tesla lover here. My sister has two in her family, so have not thrown any Molotov cocktails recently. But I wanted to talk to you about what DOGE has been doing. So you've been making cuts to a lot of the agencies that have open investigations and regulatory battles with your companies. At the same time, you continue to get billions in government contracts. Tesla gets billions in subsidies. How do you explain that to the American people?
Well, everything that DOGE does is an open book. So I think the most transparent the most transparent organization in government ever. Every single DOGE action is listed on the doge.gov website. It's also listed on the X handle. So if anyone has a concern about any one of those actions, they can bring that up. They can raise that. And I do want to say, sometimes we make a mistake. Nobody bats 1,000. We will at times make a mistake, and make a mistake. We'll act very quickly to correct it. I am under such an extreme spotlight, so much scrutiny, that it's literally impossible for me to get away with anything nefarious. And obviously, nor do I wish to. So this is a case where we have radical transparency. We're actually willing to admit that we do make mistakes. Often people are not willing to admit they make mistakes, but we are. But we want to emphasize we fix them quickly, and we're trying to do the right thing for the American taxpayer, for the American people. And I think history will be the judge that what we've done here and what we're doing is a very good thing for the strength and future of America.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so crazy?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. A lot is going on with Elon Musk, and something big just hit Fox News. Oh. Got to jump into this, family.
And the Attorney General Bondi has said the same thing. I believe that is exactly what will happen.
Do you know who they are?
We're coming for them.
Do you know who those generals are?
We know. We do.
Yes. And hopefully the prosecution will be for RICO and an organized criminal enterprise, which makes the penalties even more serious. And now to Jessica.
Yes, absolutely. These are serious crimes where the organizers and pushers of mass violence will go to prison for a very long time.
That's right. Okay.
And I hope they see this segment.
Yeah. Oh boy. Elon Musk ain't effing around.
Your Medicaid. There will be no. DOGE will make sure you get your Social Security. DOGE will make sure you get your Medicaid. There will be no cuts to legitimate payments whatsoever.
Let me go and replay this out loud for the fake news, for the liberals, for the ones that say we've lost our rights, we've lost everything.
DOGE will make sure you get your Social Security. DOGE will make sure you get your Medicaid. There will be no cuts to legitimate payments whatsoever.
Yeah, I had to replay it again. Hopefully they can hear it. Hopefully they can hear it. And this is on that Wisconsin election. Oh boy.
Well, the reason tonight's elections are so important is that the judge race will decide whether the Wisconsin districts get redrawn. They're going to try to gerrymander Wisconsin to remove 2 Republican seats. And as you know, the House is currently Republican by a razor-thin margin, which means that losing this judge race has a good chance of causing Republicans to lose control of the House. If you lose control of the House, there will be nonstop impeachment hearings. There will be nonstop hearings and subpoenas. And they're going to do everything possible to stop the agenda that the American people voted for when they voted for President Trump with a popular vote and the House and the Senate in November. They're going to do everything possible to stop the president's agenda.
And they're going to try to get Trump out of there, yo. I'll tell you, man. Oh, boy. Where's that other video at? All right, here we are.
We have radical transparency. we're actually willing to admit that we do make mistakes. Often people are not willing to admit they make mistakes, but we are. But we want to emphasize we fix them quickly, and we're trying to do the right thing for the American taxpayer, for the American people. And I think history will be the judge that what we've done here and what we're doing is a very good thing for the strength and future of America.
That's the main argument from Democrats, is that Elon Musk holds contracts with the federal government. Tesla is continuing to get subsidies. SpaceX has contracts with the Pentagon. Now, guys, the value of these contracts is peanuts compared to Lockheed Martin or Boeing, for an example, or Pfizer, for an example. But this is what Democrats do. They pick and choose when they want to make a fuss about something. And because Elon Musk has aligned himself with President Trump, they're going to hate the man. And that's why we showed you the receipts from the Social Security scam that he exposed yesterday. But that still didn't stop the media, like Chris Cuomo, from questioning it.
There is no max inclusion or minimum collection or max benefit setting or button at Social Security. And I'm not nitpicking. This isn't parsing words. It's not semantics. It's not a distinction without a difference, okay? It's just not how Social Security works. The program uses a complex index and algorithm to figure out benefits based on our lifetime of earnings, okay? Every year, illegal immigrants do contribute to Social Security, over $20 billion. But did you know that they receive almost no benefits back?
All right, so let's go ahead and fact check Chris Cuomo since he failed to fact check Elon Musk. The Social Security Administration has multiple programs within inside the agency. Elon Musk was talking about one of those programs, okay? Now let's understand what I am talking about here. When your grandmother, grandfather, or anybody you know, or even yourself, if you're 62 years or older and you've been paying into Social Security, which program are you going to be drawing from? It's called Social Security Retirement Benefits, okay? What Elon Musk was talking about is called Supplemental Security Income. That's a separate program. And that's why I have it here on the screen from you. What are the differences? SSI is for someone who has a limited income, meaning your income is below $943 a month. Secondly, they are a U.S. citizen or a qualified alien. Pay attention. A qualified alien is someone who got granted asylum, a refugee, or a lawful permanent resident, or someone who is 65 years or older, blind, or disabled. That's how you can qualify for supplemental security income. And that's what Elon Musk was talking about. And that's why I told you guys mainstream media does not know what they're talking about. Now, this takes us to the next story about people that don't know what they're talking about. Here is Cory Booker staging a 24-hour speaking protest on the Senate floor, holding up business as usual because he, I guess, wants to stop President Trump. Take a look at this.
This is when the most precious ideas of our country are being tested, where the Constitution, and the question is being called, where does the Constitution live? On paper or in our hearts? This is the moment. Generations get them. We're on a crossroads here, folks. Healthcare is on the balance. Veterans are on the balance. Priorities are on the balance. Where's our priorities, America? More tax cuts disproportionately going to the wealthy? Greater budget deficits in the trillions and trillions of dollars? Or are we going to do something different like John Lewis would call us to do? He would call us to get into good trouble, necessary trouble, save the soul of America. But you all know, John, don't hate each other.
Now, I have a few questions for the senator. Number one, over the past 24 hours, did you even condemn the violent acts against Tesla? Did you condemn the arson that took place in New Mexico? Did you condemn the, death threats that Elon Musk has been receiving? Of course you didn't. Question number two, what is the return on investment by you wasting your time for the past 24 hours? Because you're not stopping any piece of legislation. There's no filibuster here. And number three, are you able to provide any receipts for what you stated? You continue to push the lie that Elon Musk is gutting benefits in order to give tax cuts to billionaires, but he doesn't serve in Congress. Now, you know I don't buy anything that Cory Booker says, but it's really bad when even Democrats aren't buying it. Take a look at this.
The Democratic base and Democratic donors are looking for signs of life. And so I think what Senator Booker is giving them here is some signs of life. Is it going to have a tangible impact on business in Washington?
I mean, if he is still alive after this.
It's not. It may have a tangible impact on Senator Booker, but it won't have a tangible impact on business in Washington.
So they're laughing. They think it's a joke. They know it's not going to have an impact when it comes to what's happening in Washington as it pertains to getting pieces of legislation passed through Congress. But maybe there's another reason why Senator Booker is doing this. Maybe it's to show that there is some type of fight left in the Democratic Party. So for Republicans, do we care? Absolutely not. Is this a little entertaining for us? Sure. Is this a huge deal for Democrats? Absolutely. Because what else do they have to motivate them in a sense? And I think that's the point that CNN also was making in this clip.
For sure. I mean, the White House may not care about this, and they probably don't, but Democrats do. And here's why. Democrats are looking for someone to stand up, someone to sort of be fired up. And what is going to be coming later this year in New Jersey is a key governor's race. And that is exactly why things like this matter, because it gives Democrats sort of a sense of cohesion, that they aren't out in the wilderness. So no, there's not one speech that is going to stop the Trump agenda. Of course not. But it does show one senator that Democrats still have some fight in them. And that's what we have our eyes on as we're watching these races in Wisconsin tonight. That New Jersey governor's race is going to be a fascinating one to see if Democrats can hold on to that seat.
I believe this isn't really going to matter in the end. I think this is another desperate attempt after many desperate attempts from Democrats to try to find some type of momentum, some footing. And the problem here as well is that he's speaking for 24 hours to protest what exactly? Because the only crisis that I'm aware of is what we had to experience over the past 4 years. Now, here's Scott Jennings making that exact point. Take a look.
Definitely think it's representative of anger in the Democratic base. There's no question about that. And I think Booker's moves tonight are representative of the fact that there's a vacuum at the top of the Democratic Party. There's no leader. The only leader that really exists is Jasmine Crockett. She's the one you see on TV most often. Booker's trying to, fill some of that vacuum. I'm puzzled by his language, though. What is the crisis? You have a president of the United States that won the national popular vote and a landslide in the Electoral College. He is sitting, according to CBS News as of yesterday, at a 50% approval rating. What is the crisis? I mean, he's effectively executing on the policy agenda that he ran on, and he's sitting at about 50%, which is far higher than the last president. If this is a crisis, what was the Joe Biden term? A mega crisis? I don't know.
I think the crisis is that we're seeing people deported without due process. We're seeing the very fundamental aspects of our democracy at question. That's what people are scared about. And so they want to see. I think the one thing you and I can agree on, Scott, right now is the Democrats aren't doing what they need to do. Can we agree on that? Well,
I don't know.
I think we can all agree on that.
Let me put it this way. You raise a good question because I think, and look, my party's gone through this. You lose, and then everybody wants you to do something, right? What are we going to do? Sometimes there's not much to do until you get to the next election. That's the next great opportunity.
Now, the current leader of the Democrats, Jasmine Crockett, had this to say: disruption is all they seem to understand. So that's exactly what they're getting. For 14 hours, Senator Booker has been on the Senate floor, speaking truth within the rules. This cannot be business as usual when our democracy is on the line. Thank you, Senator. And in the comment section, people bring up a good point. Maybe she should be focusing on the fact that she assaulted a reporter and that she could potentially be going to jail. Now, I don't believe she will. I mean, let's just be real here, guys. Never held accountable. But hey, I think she's got other problems that she should be focusing on, and I think that is the truth. And here's Congressman Chris Murphy. He said 90 minutes into the Cory Booker filibuster, which that's not what this is. But okay, he's now reading heartbreaking letters from Americans whose lives will be ruined if the Republican Medicaid cuts go through. Again, didn't I point this out with Social Security offices? Pay attention to the language they use. Whose lives will be ruined, have not been ruined is missing, of course, if the Republican Medicaid cuts go through. What cuts exactly? 24% of American families get their insurance from state Medicaid programs. Up to 30 million will lose it. Well, why don't you guys focus on the fact that illegal immigrants are drawing from Medicaid? All right, so now we're on to our next story, and it really is a major update in regards to elections out of Florida and Wisconsin. And the great news here is we do have the hardcore numbers out of Florida and confirmed who has actually won those seats. So Randy Fine did win his seat, as you guys can see, almost by, 11 points at this point in time. And then we also have here Jimmy Petronas. He's also has a significant lead. 74% is reporting, but he's up by almost 8 points. So that's great news. So Republicans were able to maintain there. Now, some Democrats are arguing that Republicans should be sweating because the numbers should be higher, given that Florida is super red. But again, ladies and gentlemen, when you're talking about turnouts in these special elections, even midterms, that is a different scenario than a national election that we saw from President Trump. So overall, win is a win. However, for Republicans, there is a burden to actually take advantage of the opportunity we've been given. A huge coalition. We've got independents voting Republican. And if we don't make those connections and strengthen those relationships and also encourage voting, not just in national elections, but also in these special elections and midterms, we will lose a lot. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter.
It's a turnout game. And this is a condition of the Republican Party that is true. We now have a party that's made up of lower propensity voters. They tend not to vote when Donald Trump's not on the ballot. They turn out at lower rates, especially when elections are happening at odd times. And this is an issue the party's going to have to grapple with. Democrats have these higher propensity voters who turn out for everything. And I think it creates a mirage of what you just said, that maybe people are switching. I don't think they're switching. I just think the highest propensity voters are turning out. Democrats have a few more of those right now. I mean, that having been said, my advice to House Republicans right now is eat healthy, get on your treadmill. Try not to die if you live in a district that's any worse than either of these two between now and next November, or at least now in this summer when we got to pass a reconciliation bill, because it's thin margins. But the Republicans, I think, are going to hold this thin margin and hopefully hold it long enough to get Donald Trump's legislative agenda across the line. That sounds like a
diagnosis.
Now, one of the key developments as it pertains to the Wisconsin Supreme Court race is this. Multiple people are saying the same thing. And I'm going to read what Charlie Kirk posted. Hearing multiple reports that turnout in suburban rural areas is high. Some are telling us 40 to 50% higher than 2023. That was the last Supreme Court election, to be clear. These are areas we absolutely need to run up the score if we're going to offset the very... Just an update. We lost in Wisconsin, y'all. Yeah. A lot of people... Look at these comments. It says Trump will be impeached in 2027. Yeah. Suzanne Crawford has won. Predictable and regrettable late Milwaukee. Yeah, these comments are coming in as like crazy right now. Oh boy. He drops. We have to swamp the vote in these areas. Lines are out the door in multiple counties right now. And then he posted a photo of that, and that was an hour ago as me recording this video.
All right, well, the polls are closing at 8 p.m. It is Election Day after all. Now, we do have some breaking news to pass along. Some locations are experiencing ballot shortages due to the higher voter turnout. Election officials are telling people to stay in line, not to leave. They are right now working to bring more ballots to those certain locations that are impacted. Election officials expect those results to come in after midnight. And
so by the time... Yeah, I'm recording this right now. Yeah, Suzanne has won, y'all. There it is. There it is. Let's pull it up on the screen before we get out of here. I know who just posted it. Let me see. Oh, got a bit. Check it out. Yeah, right here. There it is. But voter ID did pass, though. So, voter ID pass. We won there, but yeah. Susan Crawford has won. But hey, man, there it is, you guys. Let me know what y'all think about it. I love y'all. I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace and love, family.